Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Dolphins and the Packers. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Miami Dolphins taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gunn here with Charles Davis, and for the Dolphins, what a turnaround under first-year head coach Mike McDaniel. I mean, this is a franchise that had not won a playoff game since the year 2000, but wow, I mean, they're AFC champions.
Give them a big amount of credit for getting here, and how about this franchise in total? They have won the Super Bowl twice, but those were Super Bowls 7 and 8 in 1973-74. They are so excited to be back in the big game.
Meanwhile, the Packers are back as they look to bring another Super Bowl title home to a place aptly named Titletown.
And they're looking for their 5th win, which would tie them with the Cowboys and 49ers for 2nd all time. They did last win it in 2011. That was Super Bowl 45. Aaron Rodgers leading them over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But when you talk about titles, and you mentioned Titletown, they've won 13 championships overall when you count all the NFL titles prior to the Super Bowl era as well. So this is a town that's used to winning, and they expect to win this one as well.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by the southpaw Tua Tagovailoa in his 3rd season now out of the University of Alabama.
And what a moment for him to start the Super Bowl right here. He's had his doubters over and over in his young career, and many of them question if he could truly be an NFL starter, let alone a Super Bowl starter. But here he is on the biggest day of the NFL season, leading a resurgent Dolphins team. How about a little bit of bonus history? He would be only the 3rd lefty to start and win the Super Bowl if he pulls this off, joining Hall of Famers Ken Stabler and Steve Young.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And this one is incomplete.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident, I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowls aren't like any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Play action, now it's Tua. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Wilson's got it on the crossing route. And they work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon. He had to, and he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Off the play action. Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. With a first touchdown of the Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Dolphins are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Time to see the offense for Green Bay go to work. Aaron Rodgers leading them. What a career it's been. Came into the league back in 2005 as the number 24 pick out of Cal.
Well, we all know this past offseason that Aaron Rodgers had options, and there's a possibility he might leave Green Bay. But he chose to return to the only franchise he's known, and for the second time, has them playing in the Super Bowl.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
And here's Hofrichter now, the punter, as he sends this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and that will come the offense as they take over. Dolphins offense returning to the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Let's go! Ready.
Once again, it's Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Ready?
A run with Mostert up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They hand it off to Mostert. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Second down. Here's Mostert again. Down right around the 25. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Got a man. It's Waddle complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 out the gate early.
88 out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talking about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there's never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Ready.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball, And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Mostert is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. Tua going to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? We couldn't do it here in football.
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. But let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance to stop passing now the way that it's going. I think we'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the turnover, it's Tua. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers will take over here just shy of the 30. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Rodgers' throw taken in by Watkins here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 21. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And again, it's Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Bullock's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Tua, the final shot before half. And going deep for Hill. They've got his man complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Miami in that first half. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Packers, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Taking it about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Yeah, he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks, give him the yard up to the 42. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Throwing is Rodgers. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 19. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Jones. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try again with Jones. And they will will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Packers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And able to get this out to the 25. So a sensational return there on special teams, a foot race that he was not going to lose. Now, meanwhile, while that was going on, we've got an injured player on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here in Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. Second down, here's Mostert again. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. On play action, here's Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. Rashawn Gary with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Here's Rodgers to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. His 2nd catch in the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Open man, Amari Rodgers complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And he's going to get this down near the 25. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw, Rodgers. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. To throw is Rodgers. And he wisely will throw that one away.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. If he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
Rodgers to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. Charles, what a big drive late in the 4th quarter to take this lead.
And normally you're really excited if your offense has the ball late in the game. I think this crew is really excited to have their defense go back out there because they haven't surrendered a point in the 4th quarter yet. They've helped make this comeback possible with their defensive play. Now they get a chance to finish this game off.
Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 4. 35 seconds to go. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a first down. Tua to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 59 yards. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Tua. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Tagovailoa. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's across likely the game winner here in the closing stages. What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Back to throw. Pass complete, Tunyon. And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9. And a timeout is called. So now you're looking at probably just one final play from back in their own territory, and they're going to need a miracle. He's back to throw. Able to find Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. One final try now for Rodgers. This for all the marbles. And it's incomplete. Rodgers has done it before, but he won't get the connection here, and the ball game is over. And the Lombardi Trophy has a home in South Florida. The Miami Dolphins are your Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.